Today, this is a library event called Theatre 101, and the main attraction is Alvin Tan, who is going to talk about his role as a director and the necessary stage and so on. But they wanted someone to talk a little bit about, the history of Singapore theatre, Singapore playwriting. So I volunteered to do so. And so I'll spend a few minutes just talking a little bit about the brief history of Singapore theatre. These are all basically kind of looking at categories of how theatre scene in Singapore developed. And of course the categories I kind of formed them myself. British troops. So there was like the Naval Base Theatre Company, there will be the Changi Theatre Troupe, and they will all be staging plays by British playwrights, and your Noel Coward, and those kinds of plays. So there was lots of English language theatre going on, but not much what I would call local theatre, not by Singaporean, although there wasn't really a Singapore at that time. So this was all the way, and of course a major company that was, so basically that kind of covers it. I kind of talked more about the past, and because the present is still evolving. I mean, even if you look at the whole censorship of theatre, it's very difficult to kind of say that it's gone totally, because it's still there. It's kind of present in other ways, and it's much more sophisticated now with our dealings with now the role of PELU, the Public Entertainment Licensing Unit, is now under MDA, the Media Development Authority. So whenever a play is staged, they get the play to be read by a committee, and then a rating will be given if necessary. So it's much more civilized, and then you can even have a discussion about it. Thank you.
Singapore theatre and the history of the English aspect of Singapore theatre, and the infrastructure. And as you can see, there's a lot of Singapore, the growth of theatre and the arts, I think, owe itself a lot to how Singapore does it, the planned social change. And with planned social change, there was a lot of incentives given, privileges given to change people's attitude. I think at one time, a lot of us were avoiding the Singapore play because I think we didn't know how to improve it, or we don't find it stage-worthy, and didn't know what to do about it. But with all the incentives given, a lot of us tried out the local play, and it worked. The audiences came, and I think practitioners felt it was okay to do it. And I think with the planned social change, with benefits and incentives, people's behavior changed, and then the behavioral change led to attitudinal change. And as Harish was going through, the whole thing, we could see that that's how we've come about. What I'm going to do is to pick up one case study, which is a play, Mobile. This play we did with, it's a collaboration with practitioners from the Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, and Japan. And that's basically also a lot of workers go from, Filipino workers and Thai workers go to Japan and Singapore to work. Basically, our vision is to create challenging and innovative theatre that touches the heart and mind. It took, I think, about 15 years before we fine-tune our vision to this one line.
But when I play the game, I try to create some change. And where is the change? The minimum salary of Thai women. And how about the government? They become the pimp because they close and they open one eye to take the money.
NGO, and they're good friends, but they are kind of torn apart because their ideologies. They both want to help migrant workers, but one wants it faster than the other. Rising very fast. Why is it a global village when intolerance is rising instead of more cultural understanding? I think it's because every time when we become a global village, there's a lot of investment put into political alliances and economic progress. But the whole thing about cultural management of cultural difference is not being focused on. And I feel that that is the area that the people sector and the arts and cultural workers can actually work on a little bit more so that, you know, when we call ourselves a global village, it will become more meaningful. Okay,
Hey, hi, I'm nobody. But anyway, Alvin is working with us to reinvent the library over the next month. So you can see little bits of it right now. I'm not supposed to tell you too much because it kind of spoils the game. But we see the library will happen in the library from 25th to 26th of April. Yeah, you guys do see something different, right? Yeah, unless you're like totally blind when you walk in, the left side of the library looks a little different. It looks a little green. So, yes.
What's the theme on? Is it something on the arts? Is it movie?
Oh, no, it's just on library. In fact, Alvin is probably too embarrassed to say this, but we took him as inspiration. Yeah, so like Alvin is totally non-diva, but he's like an inspiration to us, and we use him to, as a starting point to deconstruct the library. So if you look at stuff all over, you probably can see vestiges of that.
It's just the first in the series. There will be other, yeah. So
And libraries, yeah.
it's really just a start, and we're all experimenting and seeing how it works. And then after that, there will be other series focusing on other people.
So if you're interested to take part in the next one, you won't be paid, but the experience is priceless. So fill in the feedback form and write on library there, and then we'll write to you. No experience is required. So, and do look at the stuff that's happening around. We just started playing some stuff today, and some of them desire interaction. So just do it.
But most of it are not completed. We just did a setup today. So 1st April is when it will be more completed. Thank you very much, everyone.